My sister told me to disappear. My mom laughed while I cried. For a long time, I believed they were right. But I've kept quiet too long. And now I need to tell someone. Anyone. The truth.
Welcome to Reddit Toxic Family Telltales channel. New episode every day.
When I told my mom I wanted to move out for college, I expected maybe some resistance, maybe even some guilt tripping. But I wasn't ready for the meltdown that followed. She collapsed into hysterics, wailing so loud it echoed through the walls, like I had just betrayed her in the worst way possible. Between sobs, she kept screaming the same line. "You don't love me! You don't love me!" And of course, my sister showed up right on cue, smirking like a shark circling bloody water. She asked what happened, and my mom wasted no time. She shrieked that I didn't love her, that I wanted to abandon her. My sister's face twisted into this fake look of shock. But instead of saying something out loud, she grabbed her phone, looked me dead in the eyes, and fired off a DM that made my stomach drop. It said, "You dumb b************. I hate you. You're trash. Nobody loves you. Nobody ever will. You made mom cry. After everything she's done for you, you're worthless. You should just end it. Do everyone a favor. Nobody would care. Not even your ex, he left you for a reason. I hope something awful happens to you again. But hey, I better stop before you go running to the cops like you always did when we were kids." Yeah, that was her message. My own sister. I remember staring at the screen, tears pouring before I even realized it. And when my mom saw me crying, she started laughing. She actually said my sister was hilarious. Then, just to twist the knife, she added, "You're going nowhere," and walked out like she just won. I wanted to leave that second. My body was screaming at me to run, but I didn't even know where to go. A few minutes later, my sister strolled back into my room with this smug grin plastered across her face. She leaned against the doorframe like she was queen of the world and said in that fake sweet voice, "What's wrong? Did I hurt your feelings?" Before I could answer, she smirked. "Oh wait, you don't have any feelings. You're just an empty shell." I bit my tongue so hard I tasted blood. Because if I opened my mouth, I knew I'd either scream or completely break down. And that's exactly what she wanted. She leaned in close, so close I could smell her perfume, and whispered, "You're pathetic, a little crybaby no one wants around." Then, as if she needed to prove her point, she flicked the back of my head like I was some toy she could mess with. I stumbled forward, and she burst out laughing. "Oops," she mocked. "Didn't see you there." I clenched my fists, nails digging into my palms, every muscle in my body begging me to fight back. But I froze, paralyzed between rage and fear. And then she whispered again, low enough that only I could hear, "You really should just disappear. You'd be doing us all a favor." Her laughter rang in my ears as she walked away, and I just stood there, shaking so hard my teeth hurt. My head throbbed where she hit me, but it was nothing compared to the crushing weight in my chest. That night, I locked my bedroom door and sat on the edge of my bed staring at the blank wall. I knew I couldn't stay in that house any longer. It was like being trapped in a nightmare where every second dragged on forever. So I came up with a plan. First thing, I took screenshots of every single one of her messages. I saved them in a hidden folder, then emailed them to myself. It felt like I was building a case against my own family, and in a way, I guess I was. Then I started collecting more. All the nasty things she'd sent me over the years, insults, threats, disgusting jokes. I didn't read too closely because it hurt too much, but I saved them all. After that, I made a list of what I needed. Clothes, my laptop, a couple of books, and the cash I'd been secretly saving from my part-time job. It wasn't much, about $300, but I told myself it had to be enough to start somewhere. I quietly packed my backpack, rolling up clothes to fit more, slipping my laptop and charger inside, and burying the cash at the bottom. The entire time, my heart was pounding like a drum. I felt like a fugitive in my own home. But then footsteps, heavy, deliberate. My stomach dropped. The doorknob rattled. "Open this door." My mom's voice, sharp, furious. I froze. For a moment, I thought about pretending I was asleep, but my hands moved before my brain caught up, and I unlocked it. She stormed in, eyes narrowing at the bag on my bed. She didn't even have to ask. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" My throat was dry, my voice shaking. I'm just packing for college. I want to be ready. "Don't lie to me," she snapped, stepping closer until her face was just inches from mine. "You think you're leaving? After everything I've done for you? You think you can just walk out?" I swallowed hard, forcing myself to look calm even as panic clawed at my chest. "I'm not leaving. Not now. I just wanted to be prepared. I promise, I'm not going anywhere." She studied me, eyes searching like she could peel back my skull and read my thoughts. I forced a weak smile, praying she'd buy it. Finally, she sneered. "That's right. You're not going anywhere. You belong here, with your family. Don't you forget it." I nodded, pretending to be defeated. "I won't forget." She gave me one last glare before slamming the door so hard my walls rattled. The second she left, I let out the breath I'd been holding. My hands shook as I shoved more things into my bag. I wasn't staying here another day. I didn't care if I had to crawl out a window in the middle of the night. I was leaving. Because here's the truth. I'd already reached out to someone. An acquaintance, not even a close friend. I told her about my family, and she didn't even hesitate. She and her family said they'd take me in. They warned me not to tell my mom or sister where I was going. And that's exactly what I planned to do. I wasn't going to let them break me anymore. This time, I was escaping. My hands are literally shaking right now. I'm on the way to a domestic violence shelter, and I can't even describe how terrified I feel. Originally, the plan was that I'd go stay with this acquaintance and her family. They had promised to take me in to give me a safe place to land. But at the last minute, they backed out. Why? Because of my mom. They told me, word for word, that my mom is too scary when she's angry. They said if she ever found out I was staying with them, she might show up and do something crazy, and they weren't willing to risk it. I get it, I do. But it still hurts. She didn't even have to know I was there. They live miles and miles away, far from where my mom usually goes. But they still said no. And honestly, I feel betrayed. They were supposed to be my safety net. So now I'm heading to a shelter instead. And the way I left the house, God, it was chaos. My mom caught me at the door. She saw my bag and lost it. She hurled a vase in my direction. It shattered against the wall and screamed things at me that I don't even want to repeat. Threats. The kind of things that made me realize this wasn't just a toxic environment anymore. It was dangerous. I didn't even get the chance to grab everything I needed. I didn't shower, I didn't fix my hair. I just bolted. I probably look like a total wreck right now. And honestly, I don't just look it, I feel it. This all happened so fast, like 1 second I was planning quietly, and the next second I was running for my life. But no matter how awful I feel in this moment, there's one thing I keep telling myself. At least I'm out. At least I'm moving towards somewhere safe. Right now, I'm sitting in the ER waiting to get my medication. The shelter is covering the cost, which honestly feels surreal, like strangers are stepping up for me in ways my own family never did. I'll admit it, I'm embarrassed. I literally rolled out of bed, looking like a mess, hair sticking out in every direction, still wearing the same clothes I ran away in. A part of me was terrified the nurses or doctors would judge me, but then I had to remind myself, none of that matters. I had to get out, I had to survive. That's what matters. And the shelter itself is actually really nice. Not luxurious or anything, but compared to where I just came from, it feels like paradise. Imagine going to sleep and no one's screaming at you. No one's threatening you. You can just breathe. It's the first time in years that I didn't go to bed terrified of what might happen in the middle of the night. The only catch, and of course there's a catch, is that I only get 30 days there. 30 days before I have to figure out my next move. Thankfully, I might already have one lined up. I've got a job interview coming up at a movie theater of all places. And honestly, that sounds perfect. It's not glamorous, but it's steady, and it's mine. Part of me wonders if I should just be upfront during the interview and say, look, I really need this job. I'm in a shelter right now, and I need stability. Maybe honesty will help. And here's the twist. Remember that friend and her parents who bailed on me at the last second? The ones who said my mom was too scary? Well, they've changed their minds. They told me that if I have nowhere to go after my 30 days are up, I can stay with them. All I'd have to do is buy my bus ticket. So, for the first time in a long time, I feel this tiny spark of hope. Nothing's guaranteed yet, but maybe, just maybe, I can start rebuilding. Wow, I can't believe I'm even saying this, but it's been nearly 3 years since I first posted, desperate and terrified, begging strangers for advice. For some reason, those old posts popped into my head today, and when I went back and reread them, I honestly wanted to cry. I had forgotten just how bad things really were back then. I wanted to hug that broken version of myself. And honestly, I want to hug all of you too, because your advice, the kindness of people I didn't even know, helped me survive. So here it is, the last update to this whole saga. And for once, it's a happy one. The shelter I ended up in, it was brand new, clean, safe, and nothing like the horror stories I had braced myself for. The staff even told me the other local shelter was cramped and chaotic, so I got incredibly lucky with timing. After my first night there, my nerves finally started to calm down. For the first time in forever, I could breathe. There were about 7 other women there, each of us with our own private rooms and bathrooms. I was the youngest, and the older women kind of took me under their wing. They gave me life advice, shared their experiences, and even helped me practice for job interviews. One night, they sat me down and did my makeup, just because they wanted me to feel confident. We followed the shelter rules, taking turns cooking meals, and little by little, we became like a temporary family. The staff was incredible too. They weren't just doing a job. They actually cared. They talked to me about my future, about rebuilding, about self-worth. I felt safe there because of the strong security, but also because, for once, I was surrounded by people who wanted to lift me up instead of tear me down. Oh, and one memory I'll never forget. A church group came one afternoon and donated handmade quilts for every single one of us. Mine was this beautiful, soft quilt with warm colors. I still have it to this day. Sometimes I wrap myself in it and just think about how far I've come. I take extra care when I wash it, because it's not just fabric. It's proof that kindness exists. We had both group and individual therapy, and it helped me process so much. And let me say this because it matters. If you're in a bad family situation, please remember, family abuse counts as domestic violence. You deserve safety too. Don't be afraid to just leave. Now, about rebuilding, I didn't end up working at the cinema like I originally thought. Instead, I landed a better-paying job that actually gave me a chance to start saving. When they asked about school, I told them I wasn't planning to go back anytime soon. That was technically a lie. I always wanted to return, but I knew there was no way I could afford rent on a theater paycheck, and I needed something stronger to stand on. At first, I thought about moving in with that friend who had offered me a room. But deep down, I realized I needed independence. Stability. If things went wrong with her, I'd have no backup. So instead, I rented a room from a truck driver. Yeah, I was nervous at first. Living with an older man I didn't know sounded like a risk. But he turned out to be one of the kindest, most respectful people I've ever met. Because he was on the road so much, we barely saw each other. Instead, we started leaving little notes for one another. Just short hello or good luck messages on the counter. I still have one of his notes tucked away. Eventually, I did go back to school, but not my old one. That place held too many ghosts, and my family knew where it was. So I applied somewhere new. I poured my heart into my application essay, telling my survival story. And you know what? They accepted me. My sister once told me I'd never be anything, and she was wrong. I graduated this year. Sure, I'm a couple of years older than I originally planned, but I've realized that doesn't matter at all. Those lost years actually gave me strength and perspective. And now my life looks completely different. I'm engaged to the most incredible man I could have ever dreamed of. He has this big, loving family who constantly remind me, "You're ours now, your family." His mom, my future mother-in-law, treats me like her own daughter. Let me give you a small example. A few days ago, I got food poisoning for the first time in my life. It was 2 a.m, and I was curled up on the bathroom floor, absolutely miserable. Without me even asking, my fiancé left the house, drove to the store, and brought back Pedialyte so I wouldn't get dehydrated. And then, when I was too weak to think about food, he said, "Don't worry, I'll make you lentil soup." I didn't have to beg. I didn't have to explain, he just did it. And it hit me. When I was a kid, sick and crying, my mom would just roll her eyes and tell me to go back to bed. That's what love looked like to her. But now I know what real love is. And sometimes, when my fiancé does these little kind things, I instinctively say, "You don't have to," because part of me still doesn't believe I deserve it. But he always smiles and says, "I want to." He has 6 siblings, and they feel like the brothers and sisters I always wished for. With them, I'm finally learning what family can actually feel like. And here's the biggest change. I've learned to love myself, to actually care for myself. No one ever made me feel special growing up, so now I do it for myself. A therapist once told me, "Buy yourself flowers every week." So I do. Bright, colorful bouquets just for me. No one cared when I was sick, so now I make sure I rest and recover without guilt. No one respected my time, so I block out days just for myself, no calls, no obligations. Looking back on that last desperate update I made from the shelter, crying, hopeless, convinced nothing good could possibly happen in 30 days. I wish I could tell that girl, "Hold on. You have no idea how far you're going to go." Because now, I'm safe, I'm loved, I'm stable, and for the first time in my life, I'm free.
Thanks for watching. Today's train wreck is over, but tomorrow's ride is already on track. Subscribe so you don't miss it.